There is a certain kind of presence that does not beg to be noticed, yet is impossible to ignore. A presence that does not chase, yet is deeply desired. A presence that does not shout love from rooftops, yet makes a woman feel it in her bones. Today, we are talking about the kind of man every woman fears losing. And no, this is not about money, not about looks, not about status. It is about something far more rare, far more dangerous, and far more powerful. A woman does not fear losing the loud one. She does not fear losing the one who constantly promises the world. She does not even fear losing the one who showers her with gifts but lacks depth. What she truly fears losing is the man who makes her feel emotionally safe, the one who understands her without needing a manual, the one whose silence feels more comforting than someone else's sweet words. Because emotional safety is not common, it is rare, and when a woman experiences it, she recognizes that replacing it will not be easy. The kind of man every woman fears losing is emotionally intelligent, not perfect, not overly dramatic, but aware. Aware of her moods, aware of her triggers, aware of the way her voice changes when something is wrong, even if she says, "I'm fine." He does not dismiss her feelings as overreaction. He does not compete with her pain. He listens, and when he speaks to solve, not to win. When a woman feels heard, she attaches deeply. Because most of her life, she has been told she is too much, too emotional, too sensitive, too complicated. And when she meets someone who sees her depth as beauty instead of burden, she fears losing that acceptance. The man she fears losing does not try to control her. Control creates resistance. Stability creates attraction. He does not police her friendships. He does not monitor her every move. He trusts. And trust is powerful because it says, "I believe in your integrity." When a woman feels trusted, she becomes more loyal, not because she is forced to be, but because she chooses to be. Another trait is emotional consistency. This is where many fail. Being intense one day and distant the next confuses the nervous system. Inconsistency creates anxiety, not love. But consistency creates security. The man she fears losing shows up the same way, not because he lacks emotion, but because he has mastered it. He does not disappear during conflict. He does not punish with silence. He addresses problems with calm strength. Calm strength, that is the phrase. Not aggression, not dominance, but grounded masculinity, the type that makes chaos feel manageable. When life becomes overwhelming, when emotions feel heavy, she looks to him and sees stability. And that stability feels like home. The kind of man every woman fears losing has standards. Yes, standards. He does not tolerate disrespect. He does not lower himself to keep someone. He knows what he brings to the table and is prepared to walk away if that table is not valued. And ironically, that willingness to walk away is what makes her hold on tighter. Because scarcity creates value. The man who can leave if necessary is more attractive than the man who clings desperately. Desperation communicates fear. Self-control communicates strength. And strength, when balanced with kindness, is irresistible. He does not compete with her success. He celebrates it. Insecure men feel threatened by a strong woman. Secure men feel proud. The man she fears losing is secure within himself. He does not need to dim her light to feel bright. Instead, he stands beside her and shines differently, not less. And let's talk about ambition. A woman fears losing the man who is going somewhere, not just financially, but mentally, spiritually, emotionally, a man who is evolving, growing, improving, because stagnation kills attraction, growth fuels it. When she sees a future that is expanding, she imagines herself within that future. And once she starts picturing life together in years ahead, the fear of losing that vision becomes real. He protects her emotionally. Protection is not about fighting strangers. It is about guarding her heart. He does not expose her vulnerabilities to others. He does not use her secrets during arguments. He handles her softness with care. And when a woman feels emotionally protected, she relaxes, she softens, she gives more. The kind of man every woman fears losing is not overly available. Availability is beautiful. Over availability is unattractive. There is a difference. He has purpose. He has focus. He has his own world. And she is invited into it, not placed at its center prematurely. This creates balance, and balance creates desire. He understands polarity. He does not try to become her best friend in a way that removes attraction. He keeps the romantic tension alive. He flirts, he leads, he surprises. He maintains mystery without playing games. Mystery keeps curiosity alive, and curiosity keeps connection exciting. But perhaps the deepest reason a woman fears losing this type of man is because he sees her potential and encourages it. Not through pressure, but through belief. He believes she can do more, be more, achieve more. And when someone believes in you at that level, their absence feels like losing a mirror that reflected your higher self. He holds her accountable without humiliating her. Accountability is love in mature form. He says, "You are better than this," when she falls short. And instead of feeling attacked, she feels challenged in a healthy way. Growth-oriented love is addictive because it transforms both people. He does not gossip about her. He does not compare her to other women. Comparison destroys safety. Appreciation builds it. He notices the small things, the way she thinks, the way she laughs when she is genuinely happy, the way she overanalyzes when anxious. He pays attention, and attention is currency. Most women have experienced being ignored, being half seen, being half heard. So when they meet someone who truly observes them, the fear of losing that depth becomes strong. Let's also talk about boundaries. The man she fears losing does not beg for love. He gives freely but not foolishly. If disrespected repeatedly, he withdraws calmly. No drama, no threats, just action. That quiet power unsettles insecurity because it signals self-respect, and self-respect commands respect. He does not try to fix her past. He does not compete with it. He understands that she carries wounds. Instead of interrogating them, he creates an environment where healing feels safe. Healing requires patience, and patience is rare in a world addicted to instant gratification. He does not overshare too early. Emotional depth unfolds gradually. He understands timing. He understands that intensity without foundation collapses. So he builds slowly, brick by brick, trust by trust. A woman fears losing the man who challenges her intellectually. Conversations that stimulate the mind are as powerful as physical attraction. When discussions feel engaging, when perspectives expand her thinking, she feels connected on multiple levels. And multi-level connection is difficult to replace. He knows how to apologize. Ego destroys relationships. Accountability strengthens them. When wrong, he admits it without defensiveness. That humility builds enormous trust because pride pushes people away, but humility invites closeness. He respects her family, even when imperfect. He understands that loving someone includes understanding their roots. Respecting where she comes from shows maturity. It shows long-term thinking. He is emotionally regulated. He does not explode during conflict. He does not belittle during stress. Emotional control signals safety, and safety is more attractive than charm. Let's be honest, physical attraction matters, but physical attraction without emotional depth fades. The man every woman fears losing combines both. He takes care of himself, not for vanity, but for discipline. Discipline is attractive because it reflects self-control. He does not expose relationship problems publicly. Privacy protects intimacy. Oversharing destroys mystique. He values what is shared between two people. That exclusivity strengthens emotional bonds. He understands that love is a choice repeated daily, not just a feeling. Feelings fluctuate, commitment stabilizes. He chooses consistency even when emotions fluctuate. That maturity is rare. And here is the deeper psychological layer. A woman fears losing the man who makes her feel secure in her femininity. When she feels safe enough to be soft, vulnerable, expressive without being judged, she bonds deeply. If she has spent years being independent, strong, guarded, and finally finds someone who allows her to relax, losing that feels like losing peace. Peace is addictive. He does not chase validation from other women. Loyalty is visible in behavior, not in words. He avoids situations that could disrespect the relationship. That proactive respect builds trust faster than reassurance ever could. He plans, planning signals intention. When a woman sees effort in creating experiences, not just reacting to circumstances, she feels prioritized. Being prioritized consistently builds attachment. He keeps promises, small promises, big promises. Reliability creates emotional security, and security is the foundation of long-term attraction. He is not perfect. Perfection is unrealistic, but he is self-aware. Self-awareness is powerful because it means growth is ongoing. It means mistakes are lessons, not patterns. And perhaps the most powerful trait, he is not afraid to lose her either. This may sound contradictory, but when a man is not terrified of abandonment, he behaves differently. He loves freely but does not cling. He commits but does not suffocate. That emotional independence creates healthy attachment instead of anxious attachment. A woman senses that strength, and paradoxically, it increases her fear of losing him because she knows he would survive without her. And people value what is strong enough to walk away. The kind of man every woman fears losing is rare because it requires balance, strength with softness, leadership with listening, confidence with humility, independence with intimacy. He does not compete for attention. He earns respect through presence. He does not manipulate emotions. He stabilizes them. And in a world filled with noise, chaos, ego, and temporary thrills, stability feels revolutionary. That is why she fears losing him. Because finding another man who embodies emotional intelligence, consistency, self-respect, ambition, empathy, boundaries, and depth is not easy. And when something is not easy to replace, the mind perceives it as valuable. So the question is not how to make a woman fear losing you. The real question is how to become the kind of man whose absence would genuinely be felt. And that answer lies not in tactics, but in transformation. Transformation of mindset, transformation of emotional maturity, transformation of purpose. When presence brings peace, when words bring clarity, when actions bring security, losing that feels like losing a foundation, and no one wants to lose their foundation. And in the end, it is never about creating fear. It is about creating value. The kind of man every woman fears losing is not someone who manipulates emotions or plays psychological games. It is someone whose presence adds so much stability, growth, and peace to her life that the thought of absence feels heavy. Not because she is insecure, but because what is rare is always precious. When strength is calm, when love is consistent, when boundaries are clear, when purpose is strong, attachment becomes natural. She does not hold on out of desperation. She holds on out of appreciation. Because she understands that depth cannot be replaced by charm and character cannot be substituted by attention. The truth is simple. If presence brings clarity instead of confusion, if leadership feels safe instead of controlling, if affection feels steady instead of temporary, if ambition is inspiring instead of intimidating, then losing that connection feels like losing alignment. So the real power is not in being feared. It is in being respected. It is not in being chased. It is in being valued. And value is built through emotional discipline, integrity, self respect, and vision. When a man becomes grounded within himself, when he leads his life with purpose and treats love as responsibility rather than entertainment, he naturally becomes irreplaceable, not because he demands it, but because his absence creates a silence that cannot easily be filled. And that is the kind of presence that lingers. Not loud, not dramatic, but deeply, powerfully unforgettable.